What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update today of Litecoin. And today for Litecoin, we're going to start out on the 4-hour time frame, and then we're going to look at the one-day chart. So what you're looking at now is the 4-hour time frame for Litecoin. And there are a few things that I wanted to get into with you today, and mostly we're going to be looking at support and resistance and the next potential bounce area for Litecoin as things continue to cool down a little bit here. What we have to remember is since the start of 2020, even a little bit before that, we have been in a very strong uptrend and we've been moving fast. And a lot of times when you have these fast explosive moves, you're going to have these deeper corrections, and that's just something that we have to deal with and we have to be patient about. But what I do like is that Litecoin is still in its nice uptrend. Some of the things that I don't like necessarily is that the volume is starting to tail off a little bit as the price was continuously rising. As you see here, the price was going up and the volume was actually dropping down. And one thing you always have to remember is that everything is based off Bitcoin. Litecoin could have the perfect setup in the world, but if Bitcoin dumps, that just is what it is, guys. And you always have to keep your eye on Bitcoin, and that's why I cover Bitcoin, and then do your Litecoin or your XRP or your Dash or whatever coin you're in, do your analysis on that coin after you've checked out Bitcoin. That's one of the main things that I can tell you to really pay attention to. So if you guys get something from this, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll dig into this. So as I've been looking at Litecoin here on the 4-hour time frame, what we're looking at, I'm going to get off the 20 EMA, and I'm also going to pull off the 40 EMA, and we're just going to look at this 50 right here. As you can see, it's in pink. So what we're looking for now is to see if we can find support off this area. Number one is the 50 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. So this is an area for the most part, as we've been in this uptrend, we've had a few times where we've lost it, but for the most part, we've been getting bounces off it each time we've gotten back to that area. And also that's a previous area that we have broken through. So that would also be a support area there at around $73 is what we'll call it there. So this is a potential area we can get a bounce. Now, as I'm looking at this though, and the volume starting to go down, it's more probable that we may even have a deeper retracement than where we're at right now. Could we bounce from where we're at right now? Absolutely, we could get a nice bounce off it. But with the volume tailing down and where Bitcoin's at right now, there's a greater probability that we could come back and test this red trend line that you see right here, which is going to be an important trend line for us. That area, and also this previous resistance area that we would want to become support. So for me, it's around that 63.78. We'll call it $64. So right in here, I'll even adjust this just a hair right in there. This has been a spot where we had a lot of fight, a lot of chop. It was a strong overhead resistance. Then we finally broke out through it on a strong bullish candle with heavy volume. So that was significant. So if $74 doesn't hold, I'm going to look down to that $64 range, and that's the area right in here where we should get a bounce, because that's going to correlate with the support area that should be built, a trend line for support, and also this 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame, which will most likely at that time be up here around that $64 to $66, right in that range, even up to, yeah, maybe about $66, $67. So that's going to be important. But that's the thing you want to look for whenever the price is going up and the volume starting to drop off. That can be a telltale sign that maybe we need to charge back up. We need that retracement, because what you have to do is think of the market like a human being. Human beings need to take a breath or a breather. Same with the market. Whenever they have explosive pumps to the upside, you're going to have that cooling off, that breathing period where short-term traders, day traders, they're going to be taking their profit. You're going to have that sell-off, and then what you're going to have is the people who are hodling in that instant. That's what's still going to keep the price propped up, because you're still holding on to that. You're not a short-term trader. Pretend you're a hodler, or you're really holding these coins for the long term. You're looking for something $1 to $3, $5, somewhere in that, or I'm sorry guys, excuse me, for Litecoin, $75, $80, up into that range. That's what you're looking for Litecoin. That's what you want to see continue to move to the upside there, and that's what needs to play. That's what needs to play out. We need to hold these support areas. If we start breaking down through some of these main support areas at 74, 64, the trend line, or the 200 on the 4-hour, then things can start to get a little bit crazier, guys. But this is where you would want to hodl, and you would want to be in your position until we start breaking down through some of these key areas like this red trend line and this 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. So what I want to do next is jump out to the one-day chart. And if we're looking at the one-day chart here, zoom this out here, So on the 1-day chart, as you can see, it's going to show us a little bit more detail. What I like is that we're up above the 50 and the 200 moving average right in this range. And it looks like there's a potential for a golden cross in the days to come. This 50 could cross over the 200, and that's what may give us our next leg up if we do have a little bit of a retracement here. So guys, if we bounce though, from where we're at right now, I want to see us get over $79.71 is going to be the key, and then up there we could go from around 80 cents up to $102 extremely quickly. And the reason for that is due to how fast and aggressive we dropped on this backside. Because we dropped fast and aggressive on that backside, you can make it up on this side as well. And another thing I wanted to point out to you, so when we had this death cross, this 50 that crossed down through our 200, want to grab this for us? And if we pull it down to the low that we had, we dropped over 57% once we had that cross. So what I wanted to do here, say we get our cross and it's up in this area here, just to take you up around that 57% or so, that would take us up to our target pretty close to that $100 range. That psychological $100 to 102, somewhere in that range. But it's a potential that we could get this cross, and that's what's going to be the next catalyst that really sends us to the upside and we get that next explosive move. So that's what I'm looking at there. And in terms of the indicator, so on the 1-day chart for the RSI, we are at 69, so we're right under that overbought territory of 70. So this is another reason why we may have to cool down a little bit before we make the next move to the upside. So I want to show you the RSI, then we'll also take a look at the stock RSI. Stock RSI, we have had our downward cross, and also comes right up there where we had a doji and a bearish engulfing candle. So that's something that we need to pay attention to. We definitely could have that further downside retracement before we power back up, guys. So that's what I wanted to bring to you today, is just be cautious, be careful. If you see a little bit more of a retracement, another 5% or something, it's just natural. It's just the market breathing. Those are the key areas that I'm watching right in this range around that $64. We definitely do not want to lose the 200 moving average on the 1-day chart, and that's at $60.58 for me. That's like the main area to watch, because the bulls have been trading up above this now for almost 2 weeks, and they showed the strength to get up above it. And if we start dropping back below it, that's going to show that basically all the bulls have sold out. The bears are going to jump into positions, and things could get very ugly very fast. So that's what I'm paying attention to, guys. Really, the $75 to $64 right in that range. I want to see what we do, see if we get a little more retracement before we get that next pump up. But we are in an uptrend, and this trend should continue in the longer term here. So if you get something from this, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless each and every one of you. You all take care today.